Hello everyone! Today we'll check the Rainbow controller from Big One. This is their newest controller and it is compatible with PC and the Nintendo Switch. It has a lot of customizable features and this beautiful RGB light. So let's start with the unboxing. As always, the controller is very well packed. It comes with 12 months of warranty, and here is the manual. You can pause the video and check the details if you want to. The controller already feels much more lighter because it doesn't have a battery inside. This time you have 4 macro keys and you can access them by scrolling those wheels. Here's the capture button, A, B, Y, X, and you have the switch button layout inside, and you can see plus and minus, and the controller feels really good in your hands. The triggers are analog triggers, so if you're playing on PC and need those analog triggers, it will work fine. The D-pad falls in the middle a little bit, but doesn't activate the opposite directions at once. Here's the home button. And the USB connection, sadly, is still not USB Type-C. You have the headphone jack here, and it feels really comfortable in your hands. You have plenty of space to rest your fingers in the triggers, and you can press them with the tip or the whole finger. Another thing that I'd like to point out is that you can easily access the macros in both directions, and the function button, even though it's close to your finger, you won't be pressing them by accident. And the buttons, here is a comparison. You can listen to the sound. So the buttons are much softer this time. And here's the Pro controller. One of the biggest features of this controller is that it has a gyro that you can activate and use it as one of the analog sticks. So you can get creative and think about new ways to play older games. Who would have thought that one day we could play Star Fox 64 with motion controls? And it responds pretty well. You can maneuver around and fly through the rings with a lot of precision. And here's the macros working. This time around, you can register your analog inputs. So it's pretty useful when you have to quick select a weapon or a tool in a game, like here on Animal Crossing. And it's pretty good for doing repetitive stuff too. Just record to the macro and let it go. Once you've saved your macros, the controller will remember them even if you disconnect and reconnect it. I was pretty excited to do some macro combos in Smash, but it wasn't possible. So I tested it out, and here is why it won't work. The controller registered the inputs and it jumps around, so it won't work on Smash. However, you can still register button presses and custom buttons, like here. The turbo function received an upgrade here. You can see the LED indicating the speed of the turbo. And you can set the rumble intensity too. You can also double tap the function button in the back to change between the different color presets. And the headphone jack works on the PC and the Switch. This is ideal when you're playing on the couch and don't want to make any noise. As I've mentioned before, it has two gyros. One is used by the games, and the other one you can set to work as one of the analog sticks. The Rainbow controller has a companion app that you can connect to customize many features. However, the app has some flaws. First, it asks for some weird permissions. You can deny access, but in my tests, it resulted in the app crashing. And the other issue is that whenever you open the app, it sets a permanent window on your notifications bar. So I recommend that you install the app and set your configuration, then delete the app until you need it again. The app is super complete with thousands of configuration options. You can really get lost here. Here you can press the button to set your favorite color in the color wheel. You can also set it to breath, flashing, and you can set different colors for each side too. You can set the brightness of the color. And here's something really cool. You can set the analog stick to change the colors as you move it. Pretty cool, huh? Here you can set the dead zone for the triggers. You can see it's set to 0 now, but if I change it here, it takes longer to activate. The LED indicates that. And you can set it the other way around too, to activate it at full speed with a really short press. The analog stick has some special configurations too. Here's the delay one. It's in the max intensity so you can see the results, and it really gives a slight delay on your inputs. Here's the high performance mode. The Now mode is perfect for arcade-style fighting games. If you play with the analog stick, you need fast inputs like an arcade stick, but if the game has a big dead zone, it will take longer to activate, so this is perfect. And the Smooth mode is perfect for shooters. However, you should carefully calibrate it, or else you might end up with a delay. When you calibrate it correctly, it results in a much higher precision, perfect for aiming. You can mirror the axis too, so if by any reason the game you're playing doesn't support mirroring the axis of the analog stick, you can do it through the app. And here you can change the axis of the gyro. See, this is the horizontal axis now, but if I change it here, it won't do anything. The axis has changed to another movement. Another thing to note is when you're using the gyro with the right stick, the readings get a little bit different. The position always snaps back to the center to simulate a camera movement. Here is the other stick for comparison. If you move to the side and stand still, the stick won't return to the center. And the last feature is a button remap tool, which you can use to remap any button you want in the controller. I'm also happy to say that unlike most third-party controllers, the sticks here won't snap to the axis. You have free movement here. Good job, big one. And even though the controller is translucent and you can see the insides already, I want to see those LEDs and how easily they are replaced if they end up failing for some reason. The teardown on this controller was much harder because it has many components here, and once you remove the black plate you can disconnect the boards by pressing the analog sticks, and the backboard will come out. Then you can access the front board and see those LEDs. Also, I'd like to point out that the mechanism for the analog sticks is unlike any other controller I have seen. Totally different. And here are the pictures of the board. Like the previous controller, the PCB has a great quality, the contacts of the buttons are golden, and the components are very good too. The analog stick is of a brand called K-Silver, the same as the Elitist S. And the rubber membranes are much thinner this time. This makes the buttons more comfortable to press. And here are the LEDs. They are SMD LEDs and the number is 2037. I didn't find any LEDs with the same number, but I found similar ones that probably will work fine. And you even have markers for the blue, red, green and voltage terminals. Here's the information on the other side of the LED's PCB, just in case you're curious. So this was the Rainbow controller. I don't have any complaints with this controller. It improves on everything the Elitist S had done wrong, and the only problem was with the app, with those crashes and weird permissions. But once you've done all your configurations and deleted the app, you're good to go. The price tag is great, the LEDs are easily replaceable, and if you're looking for a controller to finish your RGB setup with your keyboard and controller, this is a great option. Thanks for watching, and if you want to send your product for a review, contact me through the email in the description. See you next time!